What's going on, beautiful people? And welcome back to another comic book review video. I'm your majestic sayer of words, SuperCliff, and if you guys are new to this channel, then do me a solid by smashing that like and subscribe button, and also hit that notification bell so that you'll never miss out on an upload, and so that you'll always be kept up to date with your favorite top tier comics happening in the comic book world. And today, folks, we are continuing the Beyond era of everyone's favorite friendly neighborhood Spider-Man with the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 78, written by Kelly Thompson with the art by James Tao and Sarah Pacelli. And guys, if you haven't been keeping up with the series, then definitely check out the playlist within this video's description. It will help catch everyone up on what's been happening. Now check it, folks, because when fighting a vampire, a major rule of thumb is to avoid getting bitten, and so it's only fair by the laws of the universe that Spider-Man gets hella bitten, like we saw at the end of the previous issue, where Ben Reilly's Spider-Man was facing off against Morbius. And to put it lightly, things are not looking so hot for our hero. Thus, without further ado, let's get this show on the road. Alrighty folks, so our story picks up right where the last issue left off, as Ben Reilly was dispatched by his new employers at the Beyond Corporation to deal with a rampaging Morbius. Now to Ben's credit, he tries his best to talk Morbius down, but for some reason, our vampiric anti-hero just won't listen, because right now he's feral, unhinged, and very, very blood-hungry, which are all terrible attributes for any vampire to possess. And so after escaping Morbius's clutches, Ben's highly advanced suit starts to repair itself, thus closing the bite wound. But it's made abundantly clear that Ben has been poisoned/affected and won't be able to keep fighting Morbius much longer. And now that the living vampire has had a taste for that sweet radioactive spider blood, Morbius is going to be wanting more. With blood loss and fatigue, Ben cannot contain nor stop Morbius, so he lures him to the rooftops to lead him to Beyond HQ. And while Langston allows him in, all of the money that was pumped into the security ends up finally paying off, as automated security lasers start shooting Morbius's arm off, forcing the living vampire to flee. As Ben faints due to blood loss, Beyond security arrives within seconds of the breach and medivacs Ben, while the cleaners bag the chunk of the lopped off arm of Morbius. After being brought into the building's ER, Janine is told by Marcus that she isn't allowed in, but swears to update her with Ben's recovery. However, this scene makes it clear that whatever they are doing to Ben, they don't want Janine to see. And so with inside Beyond's ER, Ben's suit is removed, and Dr. Bailey learns of Ben's fight with Morbius and readies the antitoxin. However, Maxine Danger interjects over the intercom, asking what surprises could come about should Ben not be treated, as she's intrigued by what might happen. But Bailey argues on how unethical it would be to just speculate, to which then Maxie eventually agrees and orders Bailey to administer the antitoxin. Later on at McCarthy Medical Institute, Felicia, the Black Cat, sneaks into Peter's room, tearfully asking Peter to come back, but an unaware Mary Jane opens the door slightly, thus encountering Black Cat. Suddenly, Felicia notices Peter's eyes start to slightly open, and seeing how awkward it might be for just being present, Felicia attempts to leave, but Mary Jane asks her to stay, given Peter's fleeting response, to which Felicia agrees to. However, Mary Jane asks Felicia to change out of her costume, just in case a visiting nurse walks in. And as Mary Jane sits beside Peter's bed, she jokingly asks how many more past romances it will take to wake him up. Now, with their personal Spider-Man benched out for the moment and unable to complete his duties, the Beyond Corporation decide to go with their Plan B and take matters into their own hands. Thus, elsewhere in an empty warehouse, Misty Knight and Collie Wing attempt to apprehend Morbius while trying to talk down the wounded vampire. But even with just one arm, Morbius is one hell of a challenge for these two highly trained mercenaries. Now, a thing to keep in mind here is that Misty is more perturbed by the orbiting hover drones sent to record their capture of Morbius. In addition, the Beyond Corporation also wanted them both to wear their standard costumes issued by Beyond, but the two refused, which makes it pretty clear that Beyond is more after publicity, thereby they cannot be trusted. Now once Morbius is down, Misty uses the Spider Straight Jacket drone to contain him and promises to find treatment back at Beyond. Both are then greeted by an unexpected Monica Rambeau, who quickly destroys the drones and quickly asks on what they've uncovered while working for Beyond. Later in town, Ben has recovered from his injuries and has decided to take Janine out for a little date. After seeing a movie, Ben and Janine exit the theater and walk through the park, where Janine voices her gratitude with having Ben to herself. And with that, the two lovebirds kiss alone within the park. But sadly, they are unaware as Kraven the Hunter stalks them within the trees, voicing to himself that their kiss will be a goodbye kiss. Woo. And that, folks, was The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 78. And here, Kelly Thompson, Sarah Pichelli, and Jim Tao deliver a great second part to their series takeover. The opening action scene is intense, well drawn, and visually striking. And seeing a somewhat shocked Morbius, who is in some kind of animalistic rage, is one of the many small touches that add a bit of life to the book. There are some near-death moments as well. There's a particularly intriguing theme in this issue that deals with monsters. Morbius is monstrous, and is obviously in a place where he's lacking humanity. Yet despite all of that, he's being treated like an animal, like a piece of meat. Ben is also treated as if he's inhuman, and yet he's far from it. The comic continues to display the obvious shady nature of the Beyond Corporation, from Ben's handler, Marcus, to the head of the company's superhero development team, Maxine Danger. Let's just say her treatment of Ben's situation of being bitten by Morbius further demonstrates her unscrupulous and unethical personality established from the previous issue. Overall, she is not Ben's friend or his ally, merely his benefactor. Now, for fans of Kelly Thompson's writing style, they'll get more of that here as you see the quirky personalities in all the characters, except for a few. Readers will continue to see that this is the characterization of Ben Reilly, his narration boxes, and especially with the characters Misty Knight and her partner Cully Wing. Those two in particular have the most quirky interactions and dialogue in the comic, so Thompson fans can definitely expect a lot of that from them here. Now, Ben Reilly pretty much takes a back seat in this comic after the first arc, and readers won't see much of him after his fight with Morbius. He's pretty much out of commission after that, but the comic isn't done with him. The comic does use that time to show how things are going for Peter, and that there's some slight progress in his condition. Amazing Spider-Man issue number 78 is a great follow-up to the last issue as Spider-Man takes on Morbius. Kelly Thompson continues to show how efficient she is with character writing and the forbidding nature of the Beyond Corporation. Now, we'll see how it all unfolds in the upcoming issue as Cody Ziegler takes over writing for the next couple of issues. Hopefully, he can keep the vibe going. The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 78 gets an 8 out of 10. And guys, if you like this video, make sure to hit that like button in order to show your support to the channel. And tell me, what are your thoughts and opinions on this issue? Are you guys excited for issue number 79? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. And until the next video, peace.